Sullivan. I'm a former IRS agent and teaching instructor with the Internal Revenue Service. Welcome to my YouTube station. It is the home of the 5-minute or less video. I can tell you everything that you need to know within these 5 minutes. And in doing so, I want to tell you I've worked for IRS for 10 years. I've been in private practice and tax defense for 40 years. I have an immaculate reputation. I have been on many national broadcasts. If you want to see me in a coat and tie, you can do that. I love just to be at home and do my YouTubes, really comfortable, sitting in my shorts in South Florida. So anyway, you can see my amazing team and my TV interviews at 777irs.com. I am a national expert in resolution matters. I thank you for listening today. I do these videos for 3 reasons. So you get well informed, and I tell you the truth and honesty, and there's a lot of garbage on the internet. So when I can give you inside information, I'm trying to find right exactly how I can give you the information. Today I'm going to be talking about the field collections and how IRS is going to work the case. It's really important that you understand this and how this works. The IRS will go ahead and they kind of go ahead through their automatic collection systems. They go ahead and process the cases. They send these to service centers. And when a case is larger, IRS has kind of looked at this case and said it's worthy to go down to the field. They do that. How does IRS make that decision on what to do? Well, IRS goes ahead and runs a series of algorithms on the cases. They look for people who haven't filed multiple years, they're in severe delinquency, people who owe a lot of debt and have a combination of unfiled returns and large debt. The IRS logarithms really go through the low-hanging fruit, and they send these cases down to the local office where you're going to have a local revenue officer work the case. So let me just spy, if you can, just a little more and stay with me, because I want to make sure I cover this efficiently. So the field collection job and how they work the case is this. The case goes to a group manager in the local office, and the case sits in a queue. The manager, as revenue officers clear their case out, they're going to go ahead and they are going to look at who is available to work the case and what graded revenue officer needs to look at this. Really easy cases go to grades 5 and 7, GS5s and GS7s. The middle cases go to GS9s and 12s, and cases that may involve a nominee or an alter ego, and there's just some devilish things go on. Those go on to the grade 12 and 13. So once the group manager goes ahead and assigns the case, the revenue officer is going to sit at their desk before they make a move, and they're going to use their computer at IRS to maybe pull up LexisNexis to find. If you've never heard of LexisNexis, it's important you do that. LexisNexis has what's called an accurate search engine, and they can go ahead and tell you a lot about people. They're going to search courthouse records for properties and values. They're going to use realtor.com and a couple other websites, realtor.com and Zillow. They're going to get averages there. They're going to pull up tax returns. They're going to see what assets are on there. They're going to go to an IRS portal, and they're going to look at income transcripts, and they're going to look at wage and income transcripts. So IRS is gathering all this data on the taxpayer before they even work the case. So the revenue officer as that time has the ability to say, this person's pretty delinquent. We're going to send out another final notice, a 1058 if it's not filed, and if they don't go ahead and respond, we're going to go ahead at that time and we're going to send out a lien, levy, and possibly a wage garnishment. Usually the revenue officer goes out and makes a field call. He or she can knock on the door. The person's there. They're going to introduce themselves. They're going to say, hey, we need you at our office by this date. Many times they will go out there with a doc request. That's called a document request in Form 9297, and they're going to leave it with the taxpayer with an assigned date for them to come in and work the case. What the revenue officer is looking to do is to close the case. So when a person comes in, they're going to want to secure a financial statement. The local revenue officer will want a 433A for a personal liability and a 433B for a business liability, and they're going to come in, and that financial statement is going to have to be documented. IRS is going to want everything from soup to nuts. They're going to want bank statements. They're going to want receivable lists. If it's a business, they're going to want to see a really good profit and loss. They're looking to see what assets can be liquidated, and or are they spending too much money on other things, and how much of a monthly payment they can make. For the personal side, they're going to want pay stubs. And what's very important to IRS, and you understand this, the field collection agent, more than anything, is going to want to look at the income and expense ratio. What most people don't know is IRS has a national standard program, and on that national standard program, IRS is going to lock into what they'll allow you and what you're actually spending. So IRS actually has a particular thing called the IRS National Standards. You can Google those. You can go to IRS National Standards for Food and Clothing. They're going to lock you into that figure. IRS is going to lock you into housing and utilities. They're going to lock you into car operations and a payment on vehicle. So IRS is going to pretty much dictate to you what's going to happen to your financial statement when you give it to them, and it's not going to be the outcome that you want. An experienced and seasoned person will get the client first and work with the financial statement so they can get the optima result, in fact, that they want on the case. Their case is going to close in one of three ways. Either the revenue officer is going to put them in non-collectible. Non-collectible status means that case will be there in non-collectible status for 2 or 3 years. IRS will review the case at a later time, or they will put them in a payment agreement, or they'll allow them to file an offer in compromise if they can. So remember, the field agent job is to go ahead and close the case, to do that in one of three ways. Also, it's very, very important, all the tax returns must be filed. It's a key golden tip. You must have all your tax returns filed, and you have to have your W-2 up to date so you don't owe tax when you file this year's return, and or you have to make an estimate payment to make sure that you are keeping up with the current debt. IRS does not want expanding and rolling debt. They want to stop the problem so you can work on the back tax. So the most important thing a practitioner or a taxpayer wants to do is make sure they're current right away the month that you're hearing this, and or make sure all your tax returns are filed. And you want to keep all revenue officer dates, give them the information they want. You want to have a good relationship with that revenue officer so they'll be able to work with you. We go ahead and package the entire case for the revenue officer. We get the 433A and B. We put all the documents together for them, and we give that to them, and they love the way we work. And if you were smart, you would go ahead and do the same thing. That doc request will come to you. You're going to get the 433A and B, the financial statements. You want to put the file together and give it to the revenue officer. So you know your golden tips, keep them current, keep all the tax returns going in, and make sure that you give the revenue officer everything they want. That's how the field operation works, and that's how the analysis works. Thank you very much. If this was good, give me a subscription. Really appreciate it, because YouTube thrives on me getting subscriptions. Thank you.